Okay, hello again. I thought I went over the time limit for, my last reaction. That's why it ended abruptly, because I was like, oh shit. Um, yeah. Um, let's just get back into it.
I love Easter eggs
Me
in movies
too.
and my own things. Obviously, I try to add them as much as often, and it's just
I'll just say this. The amount of Easter eggs in the finale is gonna be crazy. You are not gonna know what hit you when you see the ending for the the Maven vs. Analog War. That's what I'm talking about. Okay.
And Wally. Like, this dude got me.
don't worry. I actually need your help with something. We can't take a photo yet. We're missing someone. Go now. Weaving Wally. Now, this man was my favorite clown for ages before Heckles came around, and I loved his design, and I still to this day think he's one of the creepiest clowns, in my opinion. He is so sinister, and the fact that he isn't bloody, he isn't, he doesn't have these yellow teeth, he's just a natural, human-looking guy is what makes him such a great clown, and such a scary clown, and I knew he had to be an antagonist of the story, since the Tagura animation, obviously. There's so many parallels to him and Heckles that I just felt like it just made sense to make him that way. Once I found out about his prototype lines, I really wanted to take it seriously that he was like a really bad person, because a lot of the Spirit animatronics are technically antagonists, but like, this man needs to be one of, if not the worst ones. It's a very big job to play someone like that, and when Kellen auditioned, I didn't really know Kellen back then. I don't think he really knew what he was getting into. He told me that he didn't know Wally was going to be, like, a really evil character. He thought it was just going to be very sarcastic, which that is a trait of his that is very important. But obviously, there's much more to Wally than just that. I did make it important that there's a lot of deep-rooted reasons why Wally is the way he is. I didn't just make him like this to make him like this, and we're gonna find more out about that later on in the Mavenverse. Hint, hint, we're getting backstory stuff.
The Maestro was like a villain. The Maestro, not Daisy. She seemed nice.
Yeah, the
but just the Maestro.
Oh, little pouty Friday wasn't invited to the party. Who said that? I did. Ah, yes, the Maestro. Now, I think he's my favorite antagonist in the Mavenverse for sure. I just love him. He's definitely one of my top 3 favorite 2020 props. I think he's very underrated. And I think a big reason why I love him is just because he's associated with puppets. If you want to know something about me, it's that I love myself a good old puppet. I think the first time I was kind of introduced to a puppet-like character was Pinocchio, obviously. I did not watch the Pinocchio movie. I was too scared out of my mind. After I watched Dumbo, I think I was traumatized and didn't want to watch any more movies from around that time. So yeah, I was really scared of, not Pinocchio himself, but I think just like the movie and the vibes it was giving off. Then I started playing Zelda, and I was introduced to Puppet Zelda from Twilight Princess. Oh my god, I love Puppet Zelda so much. I dressed up as her for Halloween one year when I was little, and I would do it again. I absolutely adore her design. I love how she flops around. Just obsessed. And there's also those puppets that Skull Kid controls. Skull Kid is my favorite Zelda character, so those things are so creepy, but I am obsessed with them. I love them. And then FNAF, obviously, we've got the puppet and the mini arenas. And Bonbon and Bonnet are puppets too. And then I started getting into Goosebumps, and that's how I found out about Slappy. And he's like my favorite Halloween character of all time. I've said this before when I saw Bobby Strings for the first time, but I just think the art of ventriloquism is so fascinating, and it's honestly something I would do, because it kind of has a little bit of acting. It's got a lot of, it would keep my hands busy, because I have ADHD, and I love to just fiddle my hands all the time. So being able to control a puppet while I'm just talking would be so nice. And it takes so much talent, and it's just so fascinating. It's an art that I feel like is very underrated, and I just really appreciate. You know, obviously now we have Bobby, and he's my favorite one of this year, and the Maestro obviously is no stranger to the puppet themes, and I just think he makes for a really cool villain. So that's my history on why I love puppets, and hence why I wanted to make him such an important role in A Party to Remember.
Mr. Dark was also, well, he wasn't a villain at all, but he wasn't very nice, whereas Heckles and Uncle Charlie were not villains. I mean, and Harriet was just worried about her dad. There was really nothing like good or bad about her, I would say.
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and YouTube Music Premium.
Nothing like good or bad about her, I would say.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts of getting to see people's reactions to my stuff is that everybody has a different perspective on how they feel about the characters and their actions. Well, Harriet is a perfect example of this. You know, some people think that she is completely in the right for wanting her father back and wanting to do anything she can to get him to come back to life.
Yeah.
As for some others think that it's for the best that Henry is just dead as destiny decided for him, and that Harriet's right for being upset, but that she shouldn't try to force him to be in pain for the rest of his life for her own reasons. And that's why I think it's fascinating, because, I mean, both sides of the coin are correct. You know, there's no one inherently wrong here. There's rights and wrongs to both of the perspectives. But that's what makes it so interesting and fascinating, is that everybody who watches it feels a different way. Some people feel that the cremator did something wrong. Some people feel that Jack did something wrong. Some people feel Harriet did something wrong. Some people feel that Dr. Illume did something wrong.
Jack is
Some people think they all did something wrong and none of them did anything wrong. And that's what's so fun, is because that is how real life works. One person might be loved by everybody and others don't.
The Crypt Keeper, despite how small his role was also one of my favorites, actually. I totally forgot to mention him. He made me laugh so hard with the way he was all like, they both died, and stuff like that. That was amazing. Bobby K, you slayed that.
And then they both died!
Bobby K cooked.
I'm pretty good with the Crypt Keeper's voice as well.
I was also really excited to get my sister on board with this to play Mr. Toots and Emmeline. She too likes to mess with different voices. Like, Emmeline and Mr. Toots are totally different characters, and she definitely portrayed them both very well. And honestly, I'm not sure if you could even tell that it was the same person.
I was invited! Woohoo!
Of course it's necessary, Harriet. Come on.
I want to do the things that no one gave me the chance. I want to give other people the chance that I never got, you know, and that's what I do a lot on my channel, you know. I make videos that I wanted people to make, but there's no such thing as those videos, you know. Animatronics that belong in the sewers, or animatronics with red eyes specifically and stuff. Like, videos that I really needed to watch when I was little to know more about Spirit. Now you guys are relying on me for that information, and it's just great that I get to be the person I never had, and it's just such an honor. I watched it with my family, and it was amazing, and my mom said she related to it, which just meant a lot to me, and my dad loved it. Everybody loved it. I'm just so grateful. I was talking with my mom, and I think it's important, you know, what we were talking about, but she was saying, you know, I think it's great because a lot of stuff made for teens around my age are always, like, I've just always felt like stuff that was made for my age group I was always too old for. Like, the only thing I really liked when I was little is, like, Monster High, and that was such a dark, shocking thing, and obviously they got rid of it for a long time, and only just now it's starting to come back.
I think my favorite character to play was probably Darling Dolly, because I really got to mess with voice effects with her, and it was really fun.
In terms of my favorite scene, I don't know. Lord Raven's introduction was very, what's the word? I'm not the best at speaking at all, but I like Lord Raven's introduction. I think it works pretty well for him. He's such a silly goober.
My favorite scene would have to be the scene
with the picture because I just love the way that, like, all the characters are together. I just love how it looks. Gives us a better view of every character in the movie, except for there's a couple characters that aren't shown in that scene. But it gives us just a view of how much work was put into the movie.
Yeah.
The fact that there was more people that couldn't have been shown in that clip is actually surprising. Like, it's really surprising because there is at least 50 or so people there.
I really like the Conjuring Maven movie. It's got lots of stuff in it. And I'm voiced as Stilts. That's all I have to say. This is Jimmy Robot Channel. Out.
I couldn't find any Halloween props easily, so I just grabbed up.
My least favorite scene, it has to be when Heckles went to the bathroom to go cry, and Lucky went up to the door, put glue all over it.
The scene where Heckles gets locked in the bathroom, that was pretty sad. It's just sad because I don't want to see him go through that.
What?
He's gonna, like, glue him in there?
Yeah. Oh my god, I hate this.
Favorite characters, I like Lord Raven.
Hellspawn will be there. Satan's right-hand man.
I absolutely agree. Lord Raven is one of my top favorite characters ever in the Mavenverse. I love him so much. He's the silly, wholesome goober that we must protect at all costs.
Agreed.
The Deathstalker was pretty chill.
I don't think he forgot. Maybe your little savage forgot to check the map.
Heckles, obviously. Who doesn't like Heckles, bro? He deserves more love, bro.
Literally.
He doesn't deserve to get bullied and made fun of and stuff. That's just very mean.
I was really excited to be a part of this project because, well, one, I love animation. Two, I love the art of voice acting. It's something I've always wanted to do. And I picked 3 totally different characters so that I could experiment with different types of voices. And yeah. So, Maven, I just wanted to thank you for letting me participate in an incredible project like this.
Okay. I think it's...
And now you have the Mavenverse coming out. You have all these series shows that she's doing now. Continuing on the Party to Remember story. Which I have to give big props to Conjure Maven for not losing any motivation. It's great what she does. And she should continue on with that legacy that she has now. Very, very, very good hunter. Very good animator. Best all together.
I learned so much about myself and my audience thanks to the incredible Party to Remember film, and I am going to forever be grateful, and it holds a very special place in my heart. I got sick twice in the process of making it. I had a lot of stuff happen to me. There were some rough patches where I was having a hard time, but throughout all of it, there was still one goal, and that was to finish the movie, no matter what I was going through, no matter how anxious I was, no matter how scared I was. And trust me, every time I'm about to release something, I'm nervous, especially with the Mavenverse. Every episode, I'm like, I don't know. Of course, naturally, after the success of the original movie, everybody was wondering, when is the sequel? And I was very adamant at the end of the movie that I didn't want to do a sequel, which I do think I put it in a way that seemed a bit harsh, but honestly, I think it's just because at the thought of making more of something I just spent 3 months making seemed like a lot at first, but pretty soon after the film came out, I already felt like I wanted to keep going. My motivation, honestly,
sorry for pausing. We're extremely close. Okay. The next one will probably sadly be the end. So yeah. See y'all in the next one. Bye.